Well, this is my first and my new Hugelkulture bed. It used to be a koi pond, and then it was just a big hole that I was afraid to fall into, and now it's filled with Hugelkulture goodness. The chickens are excited. They think this is a new place to scratch for bugs. It's about, I don't know, 5:15 a.m. I'm just down the road at the beach. I'm going to collect some dead sea grass. Some people call it seaweed, but it's in this area it's eel grass. And it's all washed up on the shore. Quite a few big piles of it. And I'm going to try and fill a large plastic bag. A lot of fishermen pulling out. Must be opening day of some kind of fish or crabbing, not sure, but there's a lineup of boats and trailers at the dock. But that's not why I got up early. I'm gathering up as much good seagrass as I can to use as a mulch in my new Hugelkulture. There we go. I'm home. And I took my half of a garbage bag full of dead eel grass and mulched the first Hugelkulture bed. There's no odor to it. There's a lot of sand in it. A lot of little bugs jumped out, but I think they're sand fleas. They don't hurt anything, and they won't live away from the beach. So I'm not worried about that. Oh, I'm very satisfied with how this is coming. One more bag and then I can leave this for the rest of the summer to break down, settle down before I add anything more in the fall. The chickens are helping build the Hugelkulture bed. Well, they're eating weed seeds and beetles, little tiny worms, grubs, and anything else they can get. They are little helpers. Oh, we worked all day. And we got all the dirt and all the logs and the branches and the green biomass and everything back in the hole. Oh, husband felt sorry for me, so he helped. I could never have done it today. It would have taken me, maybe 3-4 days. Maybe I could have finished it, but so one is done with the seaweed. Got the seaweed mulch. I gathered that up this morning, and that's on the smaller bed. And this Hugelkulture bed is let's see. So the logs are in the bottom. Some of them are partially rotted, and some are a couple of years since they've been felled. And then the dead branches on top of that. And then all of the green prunings and trimmings on top of that. Filled in the dirt that we dug out of the hole. And tomorrow or the next day we'll put the chicken manure and bedding from the barn that's been sitting in a pile for 6 months or so. Then that will go on top. And then seaweed mulch will be last. And I'll probably plant it in the fall. The chickens think we've just done the greatest thing just for them. We've made this wonderful pile of dirty dirt for them to scratch for bugs and weed seeds and all that. They've sure done a good job today picking through, getting rid of beetles and little worms they find, and weed seeds and earwigs and everything that comes out of the soil. Boy, they've been having a fun time. Well, I think probably tomorrow, when I'm not so tired, I'll come out here with loppers and hand trimmers and cut off the little sticks that are sticking out, the twigs and sticks and things. I'll pick some of the bigger rocks out. We just shoveled dirt as fast as we could. We didn't really go through this with a sieve or anything. We don't really care if there's rocks in this anyway. I plan on putting a lot of perennial edibles in this, like rhubarb and comfrey and some herbs, maybe a few berry shrubs, I don't know. This is definitely hugelkulture and definitely no dig. And I'm really happy about it. This is a great use of this space that gets a lot of sun all day. It's great. We got up this morning. I made a run to the beach. Got another large bag of seaweed to finish off the first hugelkulture bed. And then we put, I don't know how many wheelbarrows of rotted chicken manure and bedding, partially rotted. I put 6 wheelbarrows on it before I tired out, and then dear husband came out and he filled up the rest. We took everything that was in here from cleaning the barn at the beginning of spring, and we put it on top of the hugelkulture bed. I got this idea of putting a basket in the end of the hugel bed to add kitchen scraps. I thought this would be a good way to encourage worms, beneficial worms and insects into the hugel bed. This is about 4 feet deep. It's way down there, and it's nasty because I put tissue, kitchen scraps, anything I don't want to give to the chickens, and it's working very well. Whoops. Sorry about my camera strap getting in the way. To cut down on odor and flies, I scoop up some wood ash from the chickens' dusting, and I put that down in there. I probably wouldn't have to do this, but I work out here and I don't really want to smell the smells. There we go. We had a Bing cherry tree growing out here. It was planted before we moved here. It was probably 40 years old, and it blew down. It was dying for years. It blew down this winter, and so this was the basis of a hugelkulture that we just built. We lined the trenches of both beds with chunks of cherry tree. If there's one thing our property has many tons of, it's biomass. Lots and lots of biomass. We used to call it large mountains of green stuff that we had to deal with every year. Now that I know about hugelkulture, I know what to do with it. We do have mountains of green stuff and mountains of brown stuff. But, I am so excited to start planting in my new hugelkulture beds. I've got plants lined up, ready to go, but not till fall.